Coming up next on the Scribe Vibe with Janae.
Why do you want to write? What drives you to put pen, paper, or fingers to the keyboard? Understanding your motivation is crucial because it's what keeps you going when the writing gets tough. Your why could be anything. Maybe you want to share a story that's been burning inside of you for years. Or perhaps you find writing therapeutic and a way to process your thoughts. Now let's talk about starting small, particularly with a 2-minute rule. The rule is a great way to overcome the initial resistance to writing. The idea is simple. Commit to writing for just 2 minutes. That's it. 2 minutes is so short that it feels almost impossible to say no. But once you start, you'll often find that you keep going beyond those 2 minutes, even on days when you don't feel like it. Over time, these 2 minutes can naturally extend into longer writing sessions as the writing habit solidifies. By setting a strong foundation and creating a routine that works for you, you'll be well on your way to building a consistent writing practice that not only helps you reach your goals, but also makes the writing process more enjoyable.
And next on Writer's Talk.
Yeah, the lasting impact. The lasting impact will be that they've had fun working through it. They might even enjoy reading the solutions one after each other, as I put it in the end, so that they can enjoy it as the quotations themselves. And I just hope that it will resonate with them. The idea is that when you solve one, you get something which is mentally stimulating, and you want to go further and further. And of course, there are 15 puzzle variations with 160 this kind of quotations. I am about to launch a Kickstarter campaign. It's not started yet. Probably in about a month I will start the Kickstarter campaign, because I realized that basically I've been doing everything in this book, the cover, the design, the page layouts, the puzzle types and everything myself, but I really want to make it to a
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. And welcome, word wranglers and plot pioneers. You've just tuned in to the Scribe Vibe with Janae, the podcast that turns aspiring authors into literary legends faster than you can say bestseller. I'm Janae, your friendly word guru, here to demystify the wide world of words and publishing. Whether you're battling writer's block or navigating the treacherous waters of query letters, I've got your back. In each episode, we'll dive deep into the craft of writing, unveiling the secrets of compelling characters, plot twists that'll make your readers gasp, and prose so smooth it practically reads itself. We'll tackle the nitty-gritty of getting published, from finding the perfect agent to avoiding those sneaky vanity presses. But wait, there's more. Stick around for Writer's Talk, where we shine the spotlight on up-and-coming authors. They'll spill the tea on their writing journeys, share tidbits about their books, and maybe even reveal the secret writing snack. Spoiler alert, it's usually common. Lots and lots of fun. So whether you're pitting the next great American novel or just trying to finish that short story you started 3 years ago, the Scribe Vibe is your go-to source for inspiration, information, and the occasional dad joke about writing. Grab your favorite writing tool, find a cozy spot, and let's turn that blank page into literary magic. It's time to catch the Scribe.
Today, we're going to dive deep into the world of writing, editing, and everything in between. We're tackling a topic that's crucial for every writer: consistent writing habits. Whether you're a seasoned author or just starting out, Developing a regular writing routine can be key to unlocking your creativity and productivity. Why is consistent writing so important? Well, it's simple. Just like any other skill, writing improves with practice. The more you write, the better you get. But beyond improvement, regular writing helps you maintain momentum, keeps the ideas flowing, and makes it easier to reach your goals. Whether you're finishing a novel, completing a short story, or even just journaling every day. Before we dive into the strategies for building consistent writing practice, let's talk about what a habit actually is. A habit is a behavior that becomes automatic through repetition. You don't have to think about it, you just do it. So, how do you form your habits? It all starts with what's known as the habit loop, which consists of three components: the cue, the routine, and the reward. The cue is the trigger that initiates the habit. It could be a specific time of day, a location, or even an emotional state. For example, you might sit down every morning right after you get your first cup of coffee. The routine is the behavior itself. In this case, writing. This is the action you repeat regularly, and it's what you're trying to make automatic. Finally, there's the reward. That's what gets you from completing the routine, and it reinforces the habit. The reward could be the satisfaction of hitting a word count, the pleasure of creating something new, or even a treat to give yourself afterward. Understanding this loop is the first step in building consistent writing habits. Once you know how habits work, you can start to design your own writing routine that fits seamlessly into your life. Now that we've explored the importance of consistent writing and how habits form, it's time to set the foundation for your own writing routine. This starts with identifying why and setting realistic goals. First, let's talk about why. Why do you want to write? What drives you to put pen to paper or fingers to the keyboard? Understanding your motivation is crucial because it's what keeps you going when the writing gets tough. Your why could be anything. Maybe you want to share a story that's been burning inside of you for years, or perhaps you find writing therapeutic and a way to process your thoughts. Whatever it is, keep it in the forefront of your mind. When you know what you're writing, it becomes easier to stay committed, even on days when you don't feel particularly inspired. Once you've identified your why, the next step is to set realistic goals. It's important to be ambitious, but it's equally important to be practical. Start by defining what you want to achieve with your writing in short term and the long term. Your writing goals could range from writing a certain number of words per day, to finishing a draft by a specific deadline. The key is to make sure these goals are attainable, given your current schedule and lifestyle. Setting goals that are too lofty can lead to frustration and burnout. So remember to pace yourself. With your why and goals in place, it's time to create your writing routine. The first step is to choose a consistent time and place for your writing. The consistency is crucial because it helps signal to your brain that it's time to write. Whether it's early in the morning, during lunch breaks, or late at night, find a time that works best for you and stick to it. Similarly, having a designated writing space, be it at a home office, a corner in your living room, or even a local cafe, can help you get into the writing zone more easily. Now let's talk about starting small, particularly with a 2-minute rule. The rule is a great way to overcome the initial resistance to writing. The idea is simple. Commit to writing for just 2 minutes. That's it. 2 minutes is so short that it feels almost impossible to say no. But once you start, you'll often find that you keep going beyond those 2 minutes. This technique helps build the habit of showing up to write, even on days when you don't feel like it. Over time, these 2 minutes can naturally extend into longer writing sessions as the writing habit solidifies. By setting a strong foundation and creating a routine that works for you, you'll be well on your way to building a consistent writing practice that not only helps you reach your goals, but also makes the writing process more enjoyable. As you build your writing routine, it's inevitable that you'll encounter obstacles along the way. Let's talk about the most common ones: writer's block, lack of motivation, and time constraints. First up is writer's block. Oh, writer's block. Everyone hates the writer's block. We've all been there, staring at a blank page, unable to find the words. The key to overcoming writer's block is not to let it paralyze you. One effective strategy is to lower the stakes. Remember, your first draft doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to exist. If you're stuck, try writing anything, even if it's off topic and not directly related to your current project. The act of writing itself can help break through the block and get your creative juices flowing again. One trick I like to do, because I like to write in rapid succession, is I'll do something creative on the side. Like, for instance, if I'm writing every 2 months, which is my current writing schedule, but I get stuck with writer's block, I'll work on, say, the book cover or something where I'm using the other side of my brain rather than just keep going with the writing. Because if you keep going while you're in writer's block, you'll mess yourself up even more. And you don't want that. You don't want to be stuck with writer's block for a year. So try to do something creative on the side. Even if it's not pertaining to writing, even if it's not creative and pertaining to your writing, do something creative. Paint. You can come up with book covers. You can come up with something that'll juice your brain up and get you motivated. Even if you sit there and listen to your story, like you have your computer read you back your story or read you another story, do something like that. That'll help with the writer's block as well. That's just from my personal experience. Next is lack of motivation. Even the most passionate writers experience days when they don't feel like writing. To combat this, reconnect with your why. Remind yourself why you started writing in the first place. Sometimes a change of scenery or routine can help reignite your motivation. Another tactic is to break your writing into smaller, manageable tasks. Instead of thinking of the entire chapter, focus on just the next paragraph or even just the next sentence. Small wins can help rebuild momentum. Finally, let's address time constraints. In our busy lives, finding time to write can feel like a challenge. The key here is to make writing a priority, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. Look at your schedule and identify pockets of time where you can fit in writing, whether it's during your commute, lunch break, or even before bed. Remember, consistency is the most important during this duration. Writing for 15 minutes every day can be more effective than sporadic marathon sessions. To help you stay on track and overcome these obstacles, there are several tools and techniques you can use. One of the most powerful tools for getting unstuck is using writing prompts. A good prompt can spark your creativity and get you writing when you don't know where to start. You can find writing prompts online or create your own by asking yourself questions related to your story, characters, or themes. Prompts can serve as a springboard, leading you into new and unexpected directions. Another technique is free writing. This exercise involves writing continuously for a set period of time, say 10 to 15 minutes, without worrying about grammar, spelling, or coherence. That's something really hard for me to do. I struggle with free writing a lot. The goal is to keep your pen moving and your fingers typing, no matter what. Free writing can help you bypass your inner critic and tap into more spontaneous creative flow. You might be surprised what comes out when you let go of the need to be perfect. Lastly, tracking your progress is an invaluable technique. By keeping a log of your writing sessions, word counts, or completed tasks, you can visually see how far you've come. This not only gives you a sense of accomplishment, but it also helps keep you motivated. Whether you use a simple journal, a spreadsheet, or a writing app, tracking your progress can reinforce your commitment and keep you moving forward. With these tools and techniques in your arsenal, you'll be better equipped to tackle any obstacle that comes your way. Remember, the journey of writing is filled with ups and downs, but by staying consistent and using the right strategies, you can overcome challenges and continue to make progress on your writing goals. Once you've established a writing routine and started making progress, the next challenge is maintaining the momentum over the long haul. Two powerful strategies for doing this are finding accountability partners or groups and celebrating your small wins along the way. Let's start with the accountability partners or groups. Writing can often feel like a solidarity activity, but it doesn't have to be. Finding someone to share your progress with can make a huge difference in staying motivated. An accountability partner is someone who checks in with you regularly to see how your writing is going and encourage you to stay on track. This could be a fellow writer, a friend, or even a mentor. Typically, joining a writing group offers the benefit of community. Not only do you get support and encouragement, but you also have the space to share your work, exchange feedback, and learn from others. Knowing that someone is expecting an update from you can be a powerful motivator to keep writing, even on days when you feel tempted to skip it. Another important aspect of maintaining momentum is celebrating your small wins. Writing a book or any long-form project can be overwhelming if you only focus on your end goal. This is why it's crucial to acknowledge and celebrate the milestones you reach along the way. Did you finish a particularly challenging chapter? Celebrate it. Hit the word count for the week. That's worth the reward. Celebrating these small achievements can help boost your morale and it can help keep you excited about your progress. Remember, every step forward is a step closer to your ultimate goal. As you continue on your writing journey, it's important to evolve your practice to keep things fresh and challenging. This can involve gradually increasing your writing time or output and exploring different writing styles or genres. Let's talk about increasing your writing time or output. Once you've established a consistent routine, you might think you're capable of more than you initially thought. Gradually increasing the amount of time you dedicate to writing or setting higher word count goals can help keep you pushing the boundaries and improve your skills. The key is to do this incrementally so it feels manageable and doesn't lead to burnout. For example, if you've been writing for about 30 minutes a day, try extending it to 45 minutes. Or if you've been aiming for 500 words, increase it to 700. This gradual increase not only builds your endurance, but also enhances your productivity. Another way to evolve your practice is by exploring different writing styles or genres. Trying something new can reignite your creativity and help you grow as a writer. If you usually write fiction, why not try your hands at poetry or nonfiction? If you focus on one genre, experiment with another. Switch from fantasy to mystery, or from romance to horror. Each style and genre comes with its own set of challenges and opportunities for learning. Stepping out of your comfort zone can lead to surprising discoveries about your writing capabilities and may open up new avenues for your work. By maintaining momentum through accountability and celebrating your progress, and by continuously evolving in your writing practice, you'll not only stay engaged with your work, but also continue to grow and develop as a writer. Remember, writing is a journey, and there's always room to learn, explore, and improve. As we wrap up today's episode, let's quickly recap the key points we've covered. We've talked about the importance of consistent writing and how it can help to improve your craft and reach your goals. We've explored the concept of writing habits, how they form through the cue, routine, and reward loop, and how you can use this to understanding to build a sustainable writing routine. We discussed the importance of identifying your why and the and setting realistic goals, as well as creating a consistent time and place for your writing using a technique like the 2-minute rule. We've also tackled common obstacles like writer's block, lack of motivation, and time restraints, offering tools and techniques like writing prompts, free writing exercises, and progress tracking to help you stay the course. Finally, we talked about the importance of maintaining momentum through accountability and celebrating your small wins, while also involving your practice to keep things fresh and challenging. The journey to consistent writing is not always easy, but the rewards are well worth the effort. So why wait? Start today. Whether you write just for 2 minutes or tackle a full writing session, the most important step is the one you take right now. And if you're a writer with a story to share and you don't mind being a little late sometimes, I'd love for you to share your story with me. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, write to me at Janae C at JanaeWritesBooks.com. Don't forget to include guests in the subject line. For those who want to support the podcast or me as a writer and get exclusive content, including sneak peeks behind my latest work, head over to my Patreon at Ream, R-E-A-M, Stories, STORIES.com/Janae with an S, Dark Romance, all one word. Your support helps keep this show going and allows me to bring you even more valuable content. And speaking of guests, be sure to tune into Writer's Talk, coming up next, where I'll be chatting with Leslie Blackbird about his gripping new activity book, Mind Game Challenge. By the way, you can reach him on his Instagram handle at LESLE.BLCKBRD_author. I've also included his Kickstarter link to Mind Game Challenge and where you can get other goodies in the podcast description. Until then, keep writing, keep creating, and remember, writing is a journey, not a race. Bye, guys. All right, we are back with Writer's Talk, and I'm here with Leslie Blackbird. Leslie, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you very much, and I'm so great to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm very
Great.
good. Okay, can you tell us about Mind Game Challenge?
Yeah, sure. So I called this book Mind Game Challenge. Previously it was just Mind Game, and actually the day when I decided to write this book, this was the first name that came to my mind as a title, that Mind Game, because I wanted to make the title something like which really describes what it's all about, so what the readers can expect from the book. And yeah, it's a game actually. It's an activity book, and for adults. It's also important to mention that even though there is nothing direct language or anything like that, not because of that, just because it's most probably more suitable for adults. And let's say about the challenge, it came a little bit after. I will maybe tell about this from reviewers' feedback that really influenced a lot on this book, how it came to the status how it is today. And yeah, basically it's an activity book. You play games, and I wanted to give a little more novelties and to make more fun and make it more entertaining. So whenever you solve a puzzle, it's about basically solving 320 puzzles in the book. You are having this sensation of achieving and really having that performance done. And on top of that, I wanted to give some extra satisfaction, let's say so, with some mental stimulation, because basically what I have done is that I always been fascinated in the big questions of life, like what is the meaning of life, and where did we all come from, and is there anybody out there, and why is it there something rather than nothing, and is there a God, and what is consciousness, and things like that. And I also got really fascinated by these short quotations, these short insights that provide some insights about these kind of questions. So I just started to come up with my own, let's say, quote-unquote quotations. However, the famous people say something that's a quote. Nobody knows me, so I don't know if I could call it as a quote. But still, the idea was to come up with these short, one sentence, concise quotations, which are at least meant to be thought-provoking, and I just packaged it or encapsulated it into the solutions of these 15 different type of puzzle variations. So whenever you solve a puzzle, you will reveal something hopefully meaningful with the solution. And the idea is that the main purpose of the book is to entertain, to have fun while you solved it. And the idea is that when you solve one, you get something which is mentally stimulating, and you want to go further and further. And of course, there are 15 puzzle variations with 106 these kind of quotations, and each of them is a one sentence quote, and is split into two parts, first and the second part. And the book is designed in a way that always the first part is, I don't know if you can see it or not, maybe you can if it's not flipped side down, but the left side is always the first part of the quotation, and the right side is the second part. And these two form together one riddle, which are 100% related to each other. So the first part of the sentence and the second one, you have to solve it separately, this one, and it will reveal the solution of the quotation. And in the book there are 12 chapters. Each chapter is a different type of puzzle, and in the end of the day there is a call to action. Is the Mind Game Challenge is the title, and the subtitle is Challenge Your Brain and Release Dopamine and Beat Me If You Can. So beat the book if you can, so solve all the quotations, and then you will beat the book. And there are other things that we might cover, which has some other novelty element, but basically this is it. I don't know if it makes sense.
You have a Kickstarter, right? Can you tell us about the Kickstarter and what you receive if you donate to the Kickstarter?
I am about to launch a Kickstarter campaign. It's not started yet. Probably in about a month I will start the Kickstarter campaign, because I realized that basically I've been doing everything in this book, the cover, the design, the page layouts, the puzzle types, and everything myself. But I really want to make it to a next level, and with the help of the backers in the Kickstarter campaign, I will be able to make it professionally, so that the whole illustration and every puzzle types will be done with a professional graphic designer. And of course it will also allow me to actually print the first load of the book. So that's why I decided to go to Kickstarter. And also I believe that there are in Kickstarter, the Kickstarter backers are always seeking for novelty. And I thought that there are maybe enough novelty elements in this book that it would go well on Kickstarter. So I will launch it in about a month, and previously I will also participate in is the 29th International Book Festival in Budapest, in Hungary, where I'm based. I secured a spot, a small stand, truly one square meter. I will just have a Molino and the desk, and that's it. But I really wanted to try this out. I mean, to see what others will react to it, whether they will turn back and want to see what it is all about, whether they will pick it up and check it out, and whether they want to solve one, and basically as well whether they want to pay for it or not. Because I believe that with this live activity that I will be for 4 days, it will be a 4-day international book festival. I will learn a lot about this, and I am sure that I will be able to use it in the Kickstarter campaign with aligning the messaging and things like that.
Okay. What inspired you to create the Mind Game Challenge?
I think a lot of people inspired me, or actually had a huge impact on how it became a Mind Game Challenge. As I mentioned, I just love pondering about these big questions, and I also like these kind of quotations, and I thought it really could be fun not to just reveal it, because I think if it is coming in these chunks of doses, then it will be overwhelming. And I thought that this smoothens up the, when you have to solve it, you will really think about this, and you will be more engaged with the actual message of that particular thought that it contains. So, as it's another big question, that where do thoughts come from? So what inspired me to do this, I think, since the idea came to my mind, I just couldn't put it down, and I just kept going and kept going. So basically this was something which came from inside, and I also realized that the purpose of this book and the structure of this book really needs to be verified as fast as possible. So whenever I created my first version, I immediately put it to review, to art reviewers, with the library thing and with NetGalley and with Booksprout, to really have a sense of feedbacks about what people think about this. And those feedback really inspired me a lot. There were so many positive, overwhelmingly positive feedbacks, and were so many negative, almost like they were angry that they really wanted to love this, and I made so many stupid initial mistakes, and each and every of these negative reviews just highlighted me right to the point that what I have to change, because that's definitely which is something I thought will be good, but it turned out not to be good. Mm-hmm. So really those people, I really want to thank for this. More than 300 people accepted the challenge, 300 beta testers. And of course didn't come back that many reviews yet. I think it's around 60 or 70. But I really appreciate and really would like to thank wherever I will have the chance to say thanks to these early reviewers, because they really had an impact on this book. Mm-hmm. And basically just there are as well many people, let's say, maybe the first one who I should mention is Roger Penrose, for example, who is the Nobel Prize winner in physics for black holes and things like that. But he is conformal cyclic theory really made a big impact, and many of the quotations rely on this topic as well. I truly enjoy this kind of science podcasts, like with Lex Friedman and Brian Keating and many others, David Kipping. They really just day by day they influenced me. And for example, for Brian Keating, he has a podcast session is Judging by the Cover, it's called. We always say that don't judge the book by the cover, but really, if you think about this, it will be judged for the very first time by the cover. So it also very, very much influenced me to try to make the cover as appealing as possible.
And is your book going to be in different languages, or is it just going to be in one language?
The first release will be definitely in English. I wrote it in English. As you might have heard, I'm sure you did, that English is not my mother language, but I really, when writing this book, I always thought in English, and You know, the sentence structure is all different, and it really is with this word quotations. If you change the one word, it will mean a totally different thing. If you change just the sorting of the word, it will be again a totally different thing. So on one hand, it's kind of easy to edit this book because, okay, there are 160 sentences. So how difficult it is to edit and to translate it. You really have to think about it, of course, but it's not that much as you had a 10,000 words or 100,000 words book, you know, to localize it. So the first one is in English. The second one most probably will be, if I get there, in Hungarian. That's my mother language. I would be able to do that. And if it goes out well and people care about this and they like the idea and they get involved, then it is fairly easy, I would say, to go out with different languages, with other languages as well. Most probably the next one would be Spanish. I also speak Spanish, but not because of that, but that's the next, maybe the biggest market out there after English. You know, Chinese you cannot do this because it's about words, so in Chinese it's absolutely a different thing with the symbols. So yeah, I think these are my plans.
Okay. Can you explain the process of designing the 15 puzzle variations?
Oh yeah. So first, when as I mentioned, I wanted to spread it out for reviews as fast as possible, and actually here I have the first version. It was like when you have a huge door holder. So this contained 180 puzzles, and I so much focused on only the meaning of the quotations, and I really didn't care about anything of the puzzle variations, the gameplay itself. And just the first reviews that came in, like 1 star, 2 star, it's not even a book, it doesn't even have pages in it, and it's they kept coming that it's repeating, of course, because there were only 3 puzzle variations. And then I realized, I really missed something here. I didn't care about the gameplay, although it's an activity book, so why didn't I do? And at that point I just thought how to make it more diverse, and added 10 more puzzle variations. So it became 13 different puzzle variations. It is there is one which can be familiar for the readers. There is a type of crossword, but the other ones all made up myself for the purpose of this book. So there are like when the words are only scrambled, there are then where each letter of each word is scrambled. There are puzzle variations where the vowels are removed. There are variations where the syllables, the words are separated by syllables as well, so you will need to really put it up to form the words, and after that to rearrange the words in order to find the actual solutions. There is also where I would like to show, maybe just to have an understanding of it, that it's kind of symbols in it, so it's not words, but each symbol represents a word, and you really have to use some different type of skill in order to solve this. And there are mathematical sequences, and when you solve the sequence, then you find the letters, and when you use those letters, you will find out the words. And there is another one which I particularly like the most. It's called the catastrophic chaos. If you see that is just letters putting on the looks like totally randomly on the page, and it is handled by that the fonts are different for each word, and you have to find the same font for each word, for each letter for that word, and solve it like this. So I really wanted to make it diverse, and this last version, which will be on Kickstarter as well, with the 160 riddles and quotations, this contains now 15 puzzle variations, and there is like a Morse code, and there is real encryption, and I provide the website where they can find out the actually the ultimate message of the book by encrypting the code, and things like that.
Do you include the answers with your book?
Yeah, absolutely. I include the solutions for 14 chapters, and for the last chapter, for the last 16 readers, I do not include, because when the readers solve it and send me back those solutions, there is, I can't show you now, but there is a genuine genius badge for their own name. I will send it out to them, so they will be part of this smart community that I thought could be, bring together. And I really didn't want to make that mistake that I don't give out the solutions, because that is horrible, because you don't know if you are right or you are not right. So for the vast majority, for 134 puzzles, there is the solution.
Okay. How did you balance the difficulty levels of the puzzles throughout the book?
Yeah, this was also an argument or a negative feedback back in the beginning, that it was just put totally randomly. After a very difficult came a very easy and things like that. Actually, the puzzle types themselves are in difficulty. They are different. So when only the words are scrambled, then it's not that difficult. When it's a catastrophic chaos, and the chapters are designed based on to be able to make this even more and more difficult. And in each chapter there are 13 riddles, and it is separated by that there are always 4 easy puzzles, and after that 4 medium puzzles, and the last one 4 hard puzzles. And the last puzzle of each chapter is, I call it chapter master. It really is to, when you solve all the riddles from that particular chapter, then you have the chance to solve the last puzzle, the chapter master, and that brings up the 13 puzzle per chapter. So this is kind of a 2 type of difficulty separation, one with that easy, medium and hard for each puzzle variation, but also the puzzle types are different based on the difficulty.
Okay. What was your approach to creating hints that form a fictional conversation among the various entities?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. In each chapter there are 2 hard puzzles where I give hints in order to make it easier. And these hints, when they are read consecutively, it forms, as you mentioned, a fictional conversation among different entities like the universe, AI, AGI, God, love, time, past, future, Elon Musk, Albert Einstein, and some others. It really is like a chatbot. I just thought it would be fun to give an extra, extra layer to it, not just to give hint, but try to force myself to make it somewhat structurized, and in this way there is this. I hope it will be funny, or some others will find it entertaining. That was my goal with this, to add a little bit more novelty into this.
How long did it take you to write it?
Actually, almost 1 year ago, somewhere in the end of August 2023, I decided to write this. And I wouldn't have thought that after 1 year I will be... Actually, it's done, but I don't know. I don't know if I had any expectations how long it will take. But actually, I'm more of this, I always change and always make it more perfect and more perfect. So I'm kind of proud of myself that I spread out so early for the reviews, because otherwise I always just working on it. So yeah, I mean, at this time now that it really didn't turn out whether it will be something which people will like or will care about, but right now with this book festival and with the Kickstarter, it will eventually turn out. However, the reviews were what I really liked, that were 2 or 3 of the 70 that I got back, like neutral reviews that it just didn't I just didn't care, or I don't know. The other ones was really like this enthusiastic, whether positive or negative.
Okay, in your opinion, what age group would benefit most from the mind game challenge?
I would. Okay, let's go about the age, but I found out target audiences based on the reviews. Actually, they have truly a lot. That I just thought that puzzle enthusiast who cares about, who likes to solve puzzles and things like that, and for those who like these kind of quotations, that will be the target audience. But really, from the reviews came back that, for example, people with ADHD, you know, the disorder and the hyperactivity, when people just cannot focus enough time for one particular thing. The most precious or the most heartwarming review came from someone who suffers from this, and she really found it really focused her mind, and that's why she really loved it. Another, the CFS, the chronic fatigue syndrome, when you are really tired and always want to sleep, and that's why you cannot focus. They come back with me that it was very good for them because it kept their attention. And also for stressed people, it came back that it really focused on their mind on the task at hand, and that's why it is a good stress reducer. Also came back from the feedback that seniors, the elderly who want to stimulate their mind, who want to make their mind fresh, enjoyed it, that they can benefit from it in a somewhat entertaining way. So I think the age, a gift, it came back with the reviews that with the gift seekers, if you want to give something meaningful to someone which is enjoyable as well, then it is a good gift for them. It turned out as well that it's not only a book, but the many reviewers came back that they just started to play it together with their family in the family visits, and with their friends, and not only with but against each other. So pretty much like a board game with the colleagues. So I implemented actually 5 gameplay modes. So you can solve it solo, you can solve it cooperatively or competitively with friends and family. And regarding the age, I think it's from who would care, maybe some 15 to 16 years old teenagers who would be caring about, thinking about these bigger questions. And yeah, for adults, really, I think for adults, for all ages, but particularly could be good for seniors because of that they want to keep their mind sharp.
Okay.
And actually there was a very interesting study that I found, that it was in the UK, but I think it was a representative study, that more than 4/5 of the UK adults like engaging solving puzzles, and 84% of them solved many type of puzzles in the past 1 year. So I thought definitely there is, and from my heart it comes as well, that we like play games. Somehow it's written in our DNA, and also we like novelties. So it was good to see, and it will turn out whether it really is the thing that people like to be engaged with games.
Right. Okay. Have you received any feedback from mental health professionals about the book's potential benefits?
Yeah, as I mentioned, the ADHD is something that not only one, but after that came another review back from someone who is suffering from ADHD, and depression, demotivation, as I mentioned, stress, and this CFS thing. I didn't even know this exist, or maybe I knew, but I wasn't aware much of it, this chronic fatigue syndrome, that when you are really tired always and you just can't keep your mind focused, then it was beneficial for them to get engaged with the puzzles.
How do you envision families and friends using Mind Game Challenge in social settings?
As I mentioned, quite 4 or 5 review came back that they solved it together with their teenagers, and they had fun to do it together. When they went to their parents with family visit, they tried it out and solved together. With colleagues, even their colleagues helped them to solve the puzzle that didn't really come to mind. So, and it's also very important that the feedback was that it is best consumed on paper, because you see it, you might be able to write into the book if you want, but some people just don't like to write into the book, so they just put a sheet of paper and a pen and they can make notes. And it is totally the same for the ebook version, that particularly for this social solving or this doing it together with family, it is easy that someone has the book at hand, someone watches in the TV, on mobile, on tablet. So this way the electronic version helps a lot to simultaneously solve it together.
Can you share an example of one of your favorite quotes or jokes from the book?
If I share it, then I will reveal it from the challenger. But how about the one which is in the cover? Okay, there is two. There is one in the back side and in the front side. When I started all of this, apart from these reviewer sites, I went to Instagram as well and get engaged with other authors as well, self-publishing authors. And there came one very, very good friend of mine who became, she's called Nikki Elizabeth. She's also an author. And she is mother tongue, so her mother language is English. So sometimes I ask her to get feedback that what do you think? Is it something that totally makes no sense, or how is it? So what I put on the cover is that your brain is your $1 million baby. Clean up the poo gently and regularly. And I just don't know, because if you are not someone who is speaking in English in all the environments, and I have no idea how it comes out. And she said that, oh, I know what you mean, it's great, it's somewhat different and things like that. So this is one what I can tell without revealing anything. And this can hardly seen in the back of the back cover. This book will end up being overused in your toilet. And I just asked, like, is it appropriate at all, or I don't know?
Okay.
So what do you think?
It's funny. It's very good.
Okay, thank you.
What role does humor play in Mind Game Challenge?
I didn't want to overdo it, let's say so, but there are a couple of these riddles that even though they also coming from a meaningful side or to be thought-provoking, it also has a sense of humor in it, or at least I wanted to put humor in it. So there are a couple, and the hints, as well as I mentioned, with this fictional conversation, this is something that meant to be humorous, and from these last puzzles that I mentioned, that for which people can have this genuine genius badge if they send it to me, there is one joke actually which I made up, which totally relates to the content of this book. I don't want to reveal it. This is the one which is with if you solve the Morse code, then you will be able to resolve the only joke or the joke of the book, let's say. So there are a few which I wanted to put in.
Oh, wow.
Actually, if you just type it in to any website with this, it just gives back the solution. So
Okay.
you don't need to learn the Morse code in order to solve it.
Okay. How do you hope readers will grow or change after completing Mind Game Challenge?
I am hoping that mm, I built up the difficulty levels in a way that it really starts easy, let's say so, and it gets harder and harder and harder. Really, some of the challenges takes like 10 seconds or something like that, but for some of them it might take days or weeks. There was a review who said that she acknowledges that she writes a review without finishing the book, but if she had to stick to this plan, then she wouldn't come back with 4 months or maybe for a year when she solves it all. Which then the other review said back in a few days you can solve this all. So no matter how long it will take for you, I'm hoping that the messages, the let's say thought-provoking themes will resonate back later in the life when people have some kind of challenges that resonates with it.
Can you share any interesting stories or feedback you received from the readers?
I just wanted to mention this, but I thought let's wait for it, so it's the perfect time. So the one who engaged with the one who suffers from ADHD, she wrote this very first version, there was only these three puzzle types as I mentioned, and she come back that with such a heartwarming review. I know it from my heart with all words, that it was something like how was it? Mind Game is the first book I ever read that makes me think about myself through games. You have to focus on solving puzzles, so you don't even know you are thinking and solving your own problems, or at least seeing them in a whole new light. And I recommend this book everyone, but specifically valuable for ADHD suffering people because it wasn't boring. So this really got my I don't know, my ego and really something that I wanted to achieve with this. And some other one came back that it's not titled My Game Challenge for nothing, but let me assure you this book will remain by my bedside and finish it. I'm determined it can beat me. And actually this was the review which gave me the subtitle, that beat me if you can. So this all really changed over time and got to this point by the review of these reviewers, or by the feedback of these reviewers.
Okay. What do you hope will be the lasting impact of Mind Game Challenge on its readers?
The lasting impact on.
The lasting impact.
Yeah, the lasting impact. The lasting impact will be that they've had fun working through it. They might even enjoy reading the solutions one after each other, as I put it in the end, so that they can enjoy it as the quote itself. And I just hope that it will resonate with them. And actually, it's in the blurb I mentioned that it's a test of the reader's wits and intellect to solve this, but ultimately I think it will be a test of mine, whether it is wise enough, it is fun enough, it is compelling enough, it is resonating enough that others would care about it as well. I'm really excited seeing how it will go out.
Where can people find you?
As I mentioned, personally, I will be out there in this book festival, but it's in Budapest. So the first release will be with this. Actually, I will do this with this beta test version with the 120 quotes, and the Kickstarter, the final version of the book will be with 160 quotes. And I would really encourage people to check out my Kickstarter preview campaign page. If it is possible to share the link in the description, it would be great. And also
what is it?
Oh, I will send you over. So when you upload it, you can put it. As it is a preview page. It contains a lot of special characters, so it's not that easy that I can say that it's just like an challenge.com or something like that.
Okay.
And also my Instagram handle, they can reach me. It's what it is. I will also sell. I just changed it from Mind Game Challenge to reflect on my author name, author Leslie Blackbird or something like that. So I will share it over.
Okay. I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Why don't you spell your name for the audience so they can look you up?
Okay, let me spell and let me show if it can be. So Leslie Blackbird, and it comes from the from a wordplay with my pen name. So, and actually it is also a challenge to find out my not my name is easy, but actually the birthday as well. Not because that it would be important that it is me. It's just that another level of challenges. Leslie Blackbird, and I really can't pronounce it without the vowels. How I designed it, so you can see that Blackbird is blackbird without the vowels, and Leslie is the translation of my name to English, and it's a little bit scrambled, so it's Leslie Blackbird, LSELIEBLC.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have for Writers Talk this week, and I want to thank Leslie for coming on. Thank you for coming on, Leslie.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
And always remember, guys, writing is a journey, not a race. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. And with that, we've reached another episode ending. I want to thank my guests for joining me on today. And I want to thank my audience for listening to the Scribe Vibe with Janae. I hope you've gained some invaluable insights and feel inspired to continue your own writing journey. Remember, every episode is packed with tips, tricks, and real-life experiences to help you navigate the writing world and publishing. If you've enjoyed our time together, I'd be thrilled if you take a moment to subscribe to the podcast and my YouTube channel, Janae Writes Books. Leave a comment, rating, like, or a review. Your support means the absolute most to me and helps me continue to bring you the content you love. Plus, it allows me to reach even more aspiring writers and book enthusiasts like yourself. For a wealth of additional resources, including writing prompts, book recommendations, and exclusive content, be sure to visit me at my website, www.janaewritesbooks.com. It's your one-stop shop for all things writing and publishing. And hey, if you're an author with a story to tell, I want to hear from you. I'm always on the lookout for incredible guests to feature on the show, whether you're a seasoned pro or a debut author, traditionally published or self-published. If you've got a book you're eager to promote, drop me a line at Janae C. That's JANAEC as in cat at JanaeWritesBooks.com with guests in the subject line. Share a bit about your book, your publication journey, and your launch date, and I'll be in touch to discuss discuss the possibility of having you on the show. Remember, the video portion of this episode will air on my channel on YouTube the day after the podcast episode airs on Spotify or wherever you listen to this. That is Janae Writes Books, found on YouTube. Thank you again for being a part of the Scribe Vibe with Janae community. Until next time, keep reading, keep writing, and never stop chasing your literary dreams.